Hello and welcome to Michigan as we come to the Irish Hills to crown an IROC champion. Again, just like in Atlanta, field set up in reverse order of points, which will put Luke Walker and Dylan Poteet on the front row as we're getting ready to get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Cosmic Nova and Jacob Lawler will start row 2. Actually, the front row cannot win the championship. That has already been decided already. Meacham and Dutta, row 3. Jeffrey Buckeye and Charlie Fibrosis, row 4. Charlie Rodriguez, Sam McNeil in row 5. And coming in tied for the championship lead, Jacob Cisco and Brian James. And like I said, Luke Walker, Dylan Poteet cannot win the title because Dylan's just too far back anyway. And Luke Walker would have to have both Brian James and Jacob Cisco finish last, while Luke Walker would have to win the race and lead the most laps to just tie them, just to tie one of them. So obviously they cannot. Lawler's a slim chance at 20 points back because you can earn 21 points for a win and 26 if you lead the most laps. So that's actually still feasibly possible, because that puts him into the 50s. Cisco could finish at 50, and then Brian James still finish at 49, so yeah. So the top 10 in points entering can still win this title. Poteet and Luke Walker, they're just here for bragging rights, so. But still, just impressive enough just to make it here, because that means you've won a title in some sort of series. Cosmic Nova, not defending the IES Championship too well, will start 4th, meaning he comes into the race 9th in points, so. Unfortunate for him, but he can still win the title if he does good enough today. Meanwhile, the pace car is pulled off, and that leaves the field under control of Dylan Poteet and Luke Walker. As the green flag's out, we're underway here from Michigan. Good jump by Dylan Poteet there. And Jacob Lawler makes a quick move for the race lead as they come through turn number 1. Dutta quickly into second. Buckeye looking to bounce back very strong after the race last week. And now here comes that's Buckeye going inside for second. Here comes Rodriguez up to the front though. Meanwhile, Jacob Lawler will lead lap number 1. Cisco currently rounds out the pack though in 12th. Poteet's found his way back to the bottom side of the racetrack though. And look at Cisco just bobbing and weaving back there, trying to find a line that's going to work for him. Or maybe just trying to find a line that he feels is safe. Cisco right now, I guess, trying to go for the passive way of winning this title. Meanwhile, Brian James going out there trying to win it. Meanwhile, 4 wide now for third between Rodriguez, Fibrosis, Poteet, and Dutta. Dutta gets out of it. So did Fibrosis. Fibrosis with a big loss of momentum coming down the back straightaway. Brian James now shoved up to the high side here. Meanwhile, Cisco's car just not up to speed here. Looks like he's able to tail the pack, but that's about it. Cisco has not been able to make any moves yet, as now he's starting to lose it. Jacob Lawler continues to lead. Jeffrey Buckeye right now runs second. Then it's Charlie Rodriguez third. Dylan Poteet in fourth. And now Charlie Fibrosis will take the 5th spot. But looks like Cisco just doesn't have anything today. I hear he's complaining about a tight race car right now over the radio, which is really unfortunate because all these cars are set up the same way for this track. So I guess the setup that they have just not good enough for Cisco to where he can run the bottom line. Makes the move on Trevor Meacham though as they come down the back straightaway off turn number 2. Now it makes the move inside Brian James, so maybe the car dialing in now as the run has gone on. And down the front straightaway, you see Cosmic Nova making it 3 wide for a spot up here. Meanwhile, look at this. Charlie Rodriguez, who won the first race, goes up to the top spot, which means right now, if the race were to end, he would win the IROC I championship. Because he comes in only 9 points back, and these guys right here would definitely be losing more than just 9 points. Jacob Waller now inside for the race lead, which is a big welcome sight to these guys back here. There's Buckeye on the outside line, Cosmic Nova in the middle there. Fibrosis makes it 3 wide for the top spot. Meanwhile, Brian James battles Jacob Sisko now as they're 3x3x3. Oh man, this is getting really close. Meacham now makes a move inside Sisko, so apparently Sisko's car not battering up there. Maybe he just got a big run and that was it. But he's got the outside line, which apparently worked well for him. As Rodriguez keeps a hold of the top spot, and now Jeffrey Buckeye into second. 3 wide just in front of Brian James here as he's trying to go out there and win the title for the Quicken Loans Cup Series. Meanwhile, I think as they run still, I still think it'll be Charlie Rodriguez taking home the title. Here comes Sam McMillan inside. He came into the race 4th in points. As now Rodriguez gaining a little bit of ground here on the rest of the field as Fibrosis now goes into second. Fibrosis finally showing some strength out there. As now here comes Brian James. He's worked his way up to 8th, going inside Poteet now. And Jacob Sisko once again at the back of the pack. Brian James makes it 3 wide as he came across the line in 7th. Now he's got Ian Dutta back to his outside. That would be for the 7th spot there. As it looks like Fibrosis is taking his car inside of Rodriguez, but not able to do so. And now Lawler gets a run on Fibrosis as they go down the back straightaway and down into turn number 3. So halfway home here when they cross the stripe. And it'll be Charlie Rodriguez leading that lap as now Charlie Fibrosis trying to fight off 2nd place. Or hang on to the 2nd place spot as Jacob Waller tries to take it from him with help from Cosmic Nova now. Jeffrey Buckeye rounding out the top 5. Fibrosis able to hold off for the spot. So it looks like the outside line works better off of turn number 2 apparently. And the inside line might be working well in turn numbers 3 and 4. As here comes Fibrosis now, he got a run on him. Down to the line, and Rodriguez definitely led the lap. But will Fibrosis have the lead as they come off turn number 2? And it looks like it. There it is. Charlie Rodriguez now down into 2nd. But he's going to make the crossover here on Fibrosis. The battle of Charlie's up in the front. Fibrosis on the outside, Rodriguez on the inside. And for one of the few times here today, as we cross the line, it'll be Fibrosis leading instead of Charlie Rodriguez. Heading back in here, Brian James currently runs 10th, Jacob Sisko 12th. Again, like I said, that doesn't matter much with Rodriguez running where he's running. 3rd place would pay out 14 points plus probably the 5 bonus points for leading most laps, 19. And right right now Brian James would get 5. That's still enough for Rodriguez to take home the title. So Brian James needs to move up through the field. He's gone past Meacham now. That's an extra point. But that would still make it 13 instead, and that's still enough. Rodriguez still holds the crown right now at this moment as Nova gets a run down the back straightaway. Here comes Buckeye inside of Rodriguez now. It's getting close now, actually. If Buckeye can get this spot. Brian James runs 9. Rodriguez is going to get the run here, though. There's a 9-point gap from Brian James to Charlie Rodriguez. And right now the point differential between them, 13. If my math is correct on who's led the most laps, which I think Rodriguez has blocked that up. Now back down to 4th, though. Makes the gap 11. As Brian James now has to fire up a battle from Trevor Meacham. Making that point swing back to 12 as now Lawler goes and will lose 3rd here down the back straightaway to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back up to 3rd now. So now the point swing is 14 in the favor of Rodriguez. Now back down to 13 as Brian James has cleared Meacham now once again. Jacob Sisko up to 11th. But the point's going to be right now. Brian James needs to make some moves as here comes Charlie Rodriguez inside for 2nd. Nova is able to hang on to it though as they come off turn number 2. And there are 4 laps to go in season 1 of the INORL IROC Championship. Brian James inside of, I think that's Dylan Poteet. Yeah, it is. 3 laps to go. Rodriguez peeks inside of Nova. Remember though, this is the turn where the outside line's been better. Here comes Jacob Lawler with a huge run. Nova tried to make a run and now he's going inside of Fibrosis. Rodriguez back to 4th. And the point swing once again would be 11. But at this point right now, Rodriguez still holds the championship. And now he's going for the race lead. 3 wide. With 2 laps to go. Brian James needs to get around at least Dylan Poteet there, plus maybe some more. Rodriguez trying to get up in front of Jacob Lawler, was not able to, but he still holds 3rd. Nova inside of Fibrosis now. Here we go, 3 wide for the race lead. White flag is out, 1 lap to go in IROC 1. James inside Poteet once again. Rodriguez grabbed 2nd from Fibrosis here. But it's going to lose it down the back straightaway once again. Fibrosis to the inside of Nova. It's going to be a drag race to the stripe. Here comes Rodriguez to make it 3 wide at the line. Give it to Cosmic Nova, and Rodriguez, I believe, wins the championship. Nova did it. Rodriguez finished 3rd, and I believe he led the most laps. So that would give him 19 points. So, Brian James at that gap, he had 9 points in favor of it. A 19-point thing would mean Brian James would have had to have finished 5th. And he did not. Brian James ended up finishing 10th as he lost a spot to Trevor Meacham. So I'm pretty sure Charlie Rodriguez will not win the race, but he'll win the championship here in INORL IROC I, all based on just whether or not he actually does lead the most laps. But Cosmic Nova is the guy who wins the title by 9 1,000ths of a, or wins the race, I'm sorry, by 9 1,000ths of a second. And unfortunately, Jacob Sisko just had too tight of a car apparently to be able, or the setup just wasn't right on his car to where he liked it. And not able to do any good today. But then again, everyone had the same setup on their car. And Cosmic Nova is the one that goes out and wins the race. We'd like to congratulate him on the win. And I am GornFan291, and this has been a production of the INORL Racing Uncontained. See you next time.